What's good, fam? We are back at it with another paternity court video. Shout out to Film Focus for this compilation. Oh, yeah, man, I haven't done one of these in a minute. So it seems like Lauren Lake gonna be going at people's chests. You know what I'm saying? Lauren Lake destroying Karens in paternity court. So let's see what's going on.
Let's dive into the paternity court cases where Karens are getting what's coming to them.
And then that's when I put the DNA test application.
At that moment, Mark said, "That's my baby." His name's nothing. Sitting up here clowning in this courtroom today, clapping and smiling.
Mr. Patterson is in court with a weary and determined heart. He's in court to prove that he's the father of the defendant's 4-year-old son.
And to prove that you are 4-year-old DeMarcus Patterson Jr.'s biological father. You named him and have cared for your junior since.
He is furious that the defendant says another man is his father because he's basically been there for his son since the beginning. He named him and he's cared for him since birth. Well, that's not enough to shake the defendant's ground of doubt.
Testify that even though your son has Mr. Patterson's name.
Why is you smiling, yo? This ain't no joke.
It does not change the fact that you are unsure he is DeMarcus Jr.'s biological father, and another man could be. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Peterson says he's had a connection to the child since the beginning, since the doctor put him in his arms. He says they've had doubts before, but after the birth, they were thrown out the window. The doubts which the defendant had, which she spoke to him about during the pregnancy. Doubts that were birthed by bad decisions from both parties.
DeMarcus ended up cheating on me within the time we were together, and I ended up leaving with Ladarius, with the alleged father, and basically we didn't work out at all.
Yo, that boy looked just like him.
So I called
She says she and the other possible father, Mr. Seidler, didn't work out in any way. So when she went back to Mr. Patterson, she gave him the full details of her doubts on the child's paternity. What it seemed to her at the time was that he was okay with the situation. They loved each other, so they stayed together through the pregnancy and the birth. And once the baby was born, the defendant says he was so sure that he didn't want to hear anything from anyone.
today, baby, my water broke. Time to go to the hospital. He hopped up. All right, let's do this. So he was in the hospital that whole day. Had the baby. He didn't get to cut the umbilical cord because the doctor took it upon himself to cut it. But that was it. When we had the baby, DeMarcus looked over, said, "That's my baby."
He even signed the birth certificate willingly without a doubt in his mind. He even denied the DNA test that was provided before he was to sign the birth certificate. All his actions gave her a sense of security, so she decided to stick with what he wanted and didn't contest it any longer.
Possibility.
I was in love with him. We were together all the time. I mean, he demanded that that's what he wanted. He denied the DNA test. So I'm like, you know what? Sure.
We're gonna roll with this.
Let's go with it.
And through the 4 years, Mr. Patterson was there, and of course the child calls him Daddy. But as the child grew up, she started to notice some changes which favored the other probable father. And they usually had an open conversation about it, and he would notice it too.
And we were open about it. All very open about it.
I started seeing his ears slant out, and I was like, hold up, you know? Just like, I don't know though.
But he's 4 now.
He's right now, so I look
The
at him.
conversation about DNA tests, this is not the first time I brought it up.
Mobile games are going big with Google Play Games. That'll...
But doubts always come with complications. And the complications were all over their lives. Mr. Patterson started to take a step back, little by little. And then the arguments. But then she tried to let the other man in the child's life, and things started to fall apart.
You decided to let her and the other guy in DeMarcus Jr.'s life as well. So you didn't want either guy to be left out until you knew for sure?
I guess. I mean,
Yo, that is fucked up. That is fucked up. But at the end of the day, he didn't take the DNA test, so...
Defendant says the other possible father is his blood brother, so no matter what, they'll always be in each other's lives. His mother sent the defendant a picture of him as a child, and both the plaintiff and defendant agreed that he looked like their son. And it's after seeing the pictures that she started blooding him in his life. But the main thing that the defendant held on to was the conception dates which supported Mr. Patterson.
And I strongly wanted DeMarcus to be the biological father was because they told me I got pregnant August 28th through the 2nd or the 3rd of September. I was with DeMarcus August 28th, but by the 2nd of September, I was with Ladarius. So I didn't know. I honestly did not know.
Judge Lake invites Mr. Seigler in. I mean, finally. And as Judge Lake sits him down, he confesses that he does believe he's the child's father. His reason, however, is not what you would think. He confesses that he was the one who told her she was pregnant based on a hunch. But she flipped out after because of the conflict of doubts that she's going through. And both of them started arguing till they called it quits. The child is 4 now, and though he has not been there for the birth in the early days, he tries to be there now in the present.
Do know both of us. He do look at both of us like fathers.
Does he call you daddy too?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lord. So the child is calling 2 men daddy.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. DeMarcus.
What the hell you mean it is what it is, girl? He need to know who his real father is. There's a lot of women that do this that do this goofy shit though. I can't even front, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
They all clearly have love for one another, at least to a point of tolerance. And each party knows that they have a part to play in the mess, and all of them are all mature about it, which is absolutely excellent. In my opinion, I think Mr. Patterson is taking it a little too well, probably to the point of partial indifference in the whole situation. And finally, what we've all been waiting for,
Man, we
Judge
know who the
Lake
damn
decides
father,
to check
man.
the results.
Is Mr. Sigmund.
What you saying ooh for? Like we ain't know that. He look just like him.
You are DJ's biological father, Mr. Sigmund. What do you feel right now?
That was one emotional roller coaster. Well, get ready for the next one. Brittany Aiken is in court in paternity woes caused by her mother. She sues her mother to court, saying her mother committed paternity fraud against her and her father. She says her world has been turned upside down when she recently discovered that one man's name is on her birth certificate and she grew up calling another man dad. Her mother, Miss Bonnie, says that she has committed no crime.
Ms. Aiken, you say you've committed no crime and believe once the DNA results prove who you claim is your daughter's biological father, you want an apology. Is that correct? All right. Ms. Aiken, explain to me how your mother committed.
Brittany reveals something strange to the court. She says a few years back, the man she called father called her and set her down to tell her that he might not be her father based on what her mother told him. Something that her mother still denies to this day, even denying it in court. But that claim might seem untrue when Brittany makes a revelation with her birth certificate.
Why did you go get a birth certificate?
To get his survivor's check, Your Honor.
Okay, so upon Mr. Jenkins' death, you were trying to collect benefits.
Yes.
And when you got your birth
The birth certificate doesn't tell the whole truth, but it gives birth to the investigation to find him. In this situation, Brittany went to get her birth certificate for the benefit of her dead father. And on her birth certificate lies the name of the man she doesn't know but heard of. I mean, confusion is an understatement for a situation like that. Well, here's the reason why.
I never seen him as in person.
But your last name is Aiken.
Yeah, that's confusing me too.
Why did you think your last name was Aiken and your father's last name was Jenkins?
Because my mama was married at the time.
Oh, so you're saying
Her
that
mother seems to be quite concerned that Mr. Aiken, the man who's on her birth certificate, is not her father. She says that they were separated at the time of her birth, and she is well aware of the time she was conceived.
beginning of November.
Yes,
How do you know that was the date?
because when me and him was having sex, Your Honor, I remember the bed broke down, and we kept on doing it.
You kept on doing it.
That's right. And
Well, that's quite a way to confirm conception. And after Brittany found out about the birth certificate, like a confused proactive person would do, she went to get some clarity. She alerted her husband, and they both went to
They was tearing each other ass up. They broke the whole bed. Goddamn.
her mother's house to demand an explanation,
And they kept on
right in
doing
their face, she denied it. They all took the tour to Mr. Aiken's house right after, and there they found his mother.
because I'm a big built woman, and his mom is a big built woman, and I'm looking like, oh my God. Really? But excuse me, Your Honor, but I don't see no future. I don't see no features in his mother and Thomas.
Well, it works. She saw some similarities and started to make some calculations, and it all came down to similarities between herself and Mr. Aiken's mother. They never got to meet Mr. Aikens that day, but the excuse the mother had for him signing a birth certificate is that Mr. Aikens signed a birth certificate when she was asleep. Bonnie denies this again, and it's becoming a pattern.
What? Why do they always keep playing this in the fucking...
Name on it.
Yeah, I did not tell her that. No, I did not tell her that, Your Honor.
How could she make up a story like this?
Well, then she took me the wrong way, but I didn't tell her that. I didn't tell her nothing like that.
That's why, Your Honor, I had wanted to go back and...
Let's be real. 30 years is a long time, and to be exposed to a 3-decade-old confusion like that, it's scary and it's a heartbreak. It's quite obvious she loved Mr. Jenkins. Brittany says that if it wasn't for him and his mother, she would probably be dead somewhere because her mother is not consistent in taking care of anyone but herself. Not even her children.
What are you coming up with?
My mama only cared about herself.
No,
She never cared about me my whole in 30 years. She was mad because my daddy would not sleep with her. That's why.
No, what are you talking about?
Judge Blake escorts Mr. Aiken in, and if not all, at least part of this mess will be resolved. He reveals that he's still married to the defendant, but they've been separated for many years. He confesses to the truth, saying that the first time he saw Brittany was when she was 4 months old, and he didn't see her anymore till the day she came to him. That is just plain wild and crazy.
What?
Not seeing someone who carries your last name for 30 years. But the one thing he believes is that he is not Brittany's biological father.
When I met Thomas, I had gave him the birth certificate. And he said that I didn't fill it out. It wasn't me. Your mom told me, you're not my child.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, if he didn't fill out the birth certificate, he did. He also promised to help her get a test done, but she never saw him again until one particular Tuesday when he told her to burn the money for the paternity test because he can't pay no $400. One can only imagine what Brittany is going through. Judge Lake decides to check the results.
Miss Brittany Aiken are not related.
I'm sorry, I thought it was never.
And it's so sad that there are so many Bonnies in the world who can't even accept their mistakes. So let's move on to the next case. Miss Friedman is in court saying...
And then you want to sit your ass in there crying. You knew this for 30 damn years. For 30 damn years, you knew this. And you just stuck with it. Come on, man.
The defendant convinced her to have his child while hiding the fact from him that he's a married man, and the only reason why he's denying the child is to save his marriage. The defendant, however, did not exactly deny claims.
Miss Streeter's child, you claim that Miss Streeter was openly sleeping with other men besides you. Today's results will determine whether or not you'll be able to save your marriage. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How you gonna get mad? She out there doing her thing and you married, dude? What kind of goofy ass?
They asked Mr. Streeter why she thinks he's the father of her child. She says that both of them were dating for 8 months, and half of that time, he was asking her to have a baby with him. He says he didn't get to raise any of his. So she accepted his request, and now that it's time to step up, he's dodging the ball. A few moments after she speaks, when the defendant says this.
She's telling you guys a bunch of lies. A whole lot of lies. That's convincing. If I know better, I would be convinced.
What is true?
That's definitely not the truth. We went in and took the birth control out together. That's definitely.
We clamped the child and we
The defendant, to me, seems sincere, though he's in court admitting his mistakes. He says that he and Miss Streeter did meet and he did find her attractive. Isn't that what they always say? He then followed it up with a confession that he did tell her some things so he could have his way with
But I'ma
her.
wrap it
But he
up.
says he told her from the beginning that he was married, to the extent of him paying her in blackmail not to tell his wife. Talk about...
Hold up, wifey look bad as shit.
her in blackmail not to tell his wife.
Why you like, I'm gonna bust your black ass when we get home?
I mean, talk about nuts.
His name, and I had went on Facebook and found the relative, then found Mrs. Hartfield page, then that's when I seen pictures of them. And I didn't even call her right away because he had told me like, them pictures are old, she's professional for her image, she can't, she don't want people to know.
But that mess isn't messy enough. The plaintiff says that he just texted her a few days ago trying to get back with her. And shockingly, she's in court with the receipts. If there's ever one wish I'll have, it is to never get caught in a lie. Ever. Get your coffee or juice, folks. You'll need it for this one.
Oh my God.
And the next line says, I'm serious, I am horny as hell.
That is true. I did send those messages.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
He's a married man.
Hold on. Let me explain to you why. Because of this game that she and I.
His excuse, or should I say reason, is that both he and her love to play a game. And if he doesn't play the game with her, she would go crazy. I can't believe I thought this man was sincere. I'm just glad Judge Lake gave him his dose of clarity that he's been lacking.
You're all married man, Mr. Hartfield. What game are you playing with a 22-year-old girl?
Okay. I tell you what.
No. I want to understand. What game is this you feel like you need to play with a 22-year-old girl?
Honestly, I got the man all wrong. I thought he was admitting his mistakes, but all he's doing is trying to weather the storm when there's a child that could possibly be his and could, quote unquote, ruin his marriage. The game she plays is a game of a politician and his mistress. Pun intended. Where the relationship is on blackmail, but unfortunately for him, he's too old for that and he doesn't have any evidence.
Age ain't shit but a number. It really ain't. Maturity does not have an age. They got people that's younger than a lot of us that's more mature than some older folks. You know what I'm saying? So it really ain't.
I must say this.
Only when it comes to like in court in the legal shit, yes, it does have importance. But mentally,
Man is borderline delusional. The evidence is literally all in his face.
Your wife does not look happy. Your wife is sitting there having to listen to testimony about you sending text messages to a 22-year-old girl talking about you horny.
Judge Lake decides to hear from his wife. She testifies that the plaintiff did send him a text giving her the whole details of her husband's affair. And her husband never told her anything. Well, technically, they never do. She then asked him about it, and he denied it to her face. Saying she's nobody. She then called the plaintiff and wished her luck because the man didn't take care of her own kids. Funny thing is, her words came to pass because he was even at the child's birth excited. But when it came to the birth certificate, things started to become shaky.
When he first signed the birth certificate.
So his name is placed on the certificate of birth. So Mr. Hartfield, you're a married man, but you're on this child's original birth certificate.
No. Well, the name is printed. It's no signature on mine.
So at first,
This man is a narcissist. He says that it didn't go that way because all she kept doing was pressing him to sign the birth certificate, which offended him. He says that the plaintiff had other people she was talking to. Well, that's just the kind of thing he'd say. He then disrespects his wife in open court, and the judge notices the man is heating up.
Not only that,
That's a fact.
he had more girlfriends
telling
than he was
that.
talking to me. When I first met him, he had a lot of women he talked to.
Of course.
A lot.
Of course.
It was
Of course.
so not only was it me, it was other people.
let the truth come out. That's exactly what I said.
Apparently, he had another place, and his wife didn't know about it. I mean, that's a pretty textbook move for a cheater. And the first time she found out about it was when the plaintiff told him. He then lashes out and tells his wife to go sit down. But Blake just couldn't take it anymore with the way he's disrespecting his wife.
Mr. Hartfield, you may be one of the most disappointing men I've ever seen in this sport. You are really.
thank you. You the goofy.
The clapping, I mean, what a disgrace.
It got to a point where Judge Lake says that she prays that he's not the child's father. I mean, that man has to be the most Karen that a Karen can be. He even reveals to the court that his wife is his seventh wife, and none of what any of them do or say matters to him. Just a classic narcissist.
Okay. That's good.
Boy, he gonna run into somebody He see a lot of fellas be doing women like this, but y'all haven't run into a woman scorn yet. You run into a woman scorn, she gonna skin your ass alive. I'm telling you. Like, y'all better be careful out here, man. End up on deadly women, snapped, and all that. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm
Do you
telling you.
understand now what you just made a child with?
Right.
Now, do you want to look at me? I don't know what he told you up until this point. I will say that con men like him, they can be very careful.
I've never seen Judge Lake so angry. That man truly is one of the worst. Onward to our next case. Miss McClung is in court with her husband to prove that he's the father of her 4-year-old daughter, Desiree. He says that the paternity problems have fractured her marriage and she needs the positive result to fix it. The defendant reveals a strange detail about the child.
Of desire for the first 2 years of her life, and now that you are married, Mrs. McClung is desperate to prove you are the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mrs. McClung, you say your family is fractured.
Plaintiff says she and the defendant have had their ups and downs in their marriage, and that problem has been solved. But the paternity issue, however, seems to be constant, and she has once told him that the child wasn't his.
That's his
But during
kid.
the time of conception, they were just friends with benefits, which the defendant agreed
She
to.
look just like him.
So, yeah, we was messing around when we first started seeing each other. We was just like friends with benefits. We weren't in a serious relationship. We weren't really together. It was actually the night of her birthday.
I honestly can't imagine sleeping with someone for 2 weeks and then bailing for 2 whole years. I'm honestly not surprised she didn't tell him when he was the father earlier. Well, it's not as if she didn't try. She says he blocked her on Facebook, so she felt like he ghosted her. Well, that explains that part. She says that she's sure he's the father because they had sex for 2 weeks, even though she slept with someone else that time, and then she found out that she was pregnant.
About 6 weeks pregnant. So once you realize you were 6 weeks pregnant, which is on the 20th of September, you then counted back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. And that's the window of conception, which
After the determination and confirmation, she couldn't get to him, so she didn't. He left no phone number and no address. So she went with the other guy as the father, and when he came back, she told him the child was for the other man. And the reason for that is this.
Well, see, I don't want to have to be the one to wipe her face because somebody's here 1 minute and not there the next.
So the truth is it was a defense mechanism.
Yes.
And you just said, you know what, no.
And that's quite understandable. Getting ghosted on is not a funny thing, to be honest. It sucks, especially as a child. Well, things came around because she got unblocked and they started talking again and got married. But the doubts are still there. He wanted to know for sure if the girl was his, so she told him to get a DNA test.
You trying to find a way to get a DNA test?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I got to, me and my cousin got to talking, we got to calling places until she let me know a little information that she, Miss Torres told her when I wasn't around.
And this is
His cousin is invited to testify. She says that a few months after the baby was born, she went to the plaintiff's apartment because her friend was also staying there, and she saw the plaintiff with another man, and the child was calling him daddy.
So my point is that what you have to understand that all of this set in motion leads to him having doubt.
Right.
And why this situation persisted longer than it had to.
Right.
Plaintiff says that as the child grew up, she started to notice certain similarities in both Desiree and the defendant, including their similar hairline and overbite, which could be possibly genetics. Judge Lake decides to call a professional.
I think an overbite can be a genetic trait, yes. It can be. All right. So can they be attributed to any other factor as well?
Absolutely. It could be tongue thrusting, sucking your thumb, or just sucking on a bottle too long. We call it overbite.
Even the similarities might count as much when it comes to genetics, since overbites are recessive. But the plaintiff is still sure that he's the father because the conception dates do not lie. However, Judge Lake decides to check the results.
Mr. McClung, you are not the father.
Oh!
I'm very sorry.
It's cool, because no matter what, she got me. They all got me. They all.
I was not expecting that. Yo! wasn't expecting that. Damn. Well, damn. Well, I don't even know what to say. Alright, so hold up. This might be the hold on now. No, that yeah, this might be the thumbnail. Cause she look like she ain't playing no game. Yeah, that last one I didn't expect that. Cause she did look like him, but like they say, they might have the features, but they might not be them. So yeah. Um, yo, that dude, Mr. Hartfield, yo, fellas, it ain't no different on the woman's side when y'all feel the same. When y'all be feeling y'all emotions, like y'all act like women ain't going feel the same way. They gonna feel the same exact fucking way. Women get hurt too, and this is a pure example of what we're talking about. Like they got dudes that dog the fuck out of women. Some of them break up with them and heal. Some of them stick around, and some of them turn insane. They be ready to kill, maim, whoever. And God forbid, some of them want revenge. Be careful. And it's the same on the men's side. But you gotta be careful how you treat people. That particular person that you did wrong might not do you wrong back, but who knows, that second, third, or fourth person that you probably dog, they might be the one. They might just be the one. And what you put out in the universe, you definitely gonna get back. Be careful how you do people out here, man. Seriously. Because, like, if y'all don't watch Deadly Women, Snapped, it's a lot of other joints. It's quite of a lot of other joints. Fatal Attraction and all that. Like, whew, it ain't no joke. You can't be playing with people's hearts like that. You can't, man. And it's sad that we got to go through life. We got to get our heart broken in the whole nine in order to understand life. But if you got somebody down with you, and I mean like really down with you though, stick with them and love the fuck out of them through thick and thin. Treat them like the king or the queen that they are in your life. And don't let nobody on the outside mess it up. But don't be like this dude. He probably got he probably used to doing this so much. He like, fuck it, I don't even care. Like you see, you're like, oh yeah, I got other women. And she just looking at him like, what you mean? Hey, man, go on, sit down somewhere. Like, bro, what? Like you trip. But at the end of the day, it's like they chose to be with this dude. Like, and she didn't know, and that she didn't know. So she know now. I hope to God that she actually left and did her own thing, got with somebody else. And the girl is 22 years old. Even the woman at 45, there's brothers out there that will still like talk to her, want to be with her and stuff like that. Like life goes on, you know. But it's like in some reason, like we feel like we done lost so much time dealing with this same pathetic person. And man, until you still got breath in your body. How much pain you willing to take? Like that's all I would say. But yo, if you like this video, smash the like button for your boy. Comment down below, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for your boy. Lauren Lake went in on dude. See y'all in the next video. Peace, love, blessings. We out.